All right, welcome everybody to another Sacred Mountain Battle Reports. This gruesome duo is their father-son team.
He's dad, I'm son.
Yeah, for Jefferson State Wargamers.
Yes!
We're gonna do a LVO practice game today. We're gonna place terrain like the LVO says to, and Jason on the right there is gonna be giving us a taste of his AdMech. And
Yes, fully armed and operational, fully painted and everything. Mostly painted.
John, his son, is going to give us his Death Guard.
Not as fully armed, but just as slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your plans today for the battle?
Well, I got the Skitarii Veterans Cohort is what I'm doing, which is kind of an older list, but you know what? God, I like it so much, and I don't want to give it up. So I like my invulnerable saves.
John?
I'm planning on drowning my enemy in poxwalkers and have some death shroud to clean up the mess.
All right, on to armies.
Yep.
Okay, John, tell us about your army here.
Well, it's a Terminus S list. It's 2 detachments, a brigade and a... Oh, no.
Spearhead?
Yeah, Spear.
Vanguard?
One of those. The one with the elite.
Oh, Vanguard.
Yeah, Vanguard. I got 80 poxwalkers, soon to be 100 with the Terminus S. We bring back a squad of zombies. I got a 10-man Blightlord Terminator squad, 3 Foul Blight spawns. I have 3 4-man squads of Death Shroud. All of them have the Chimes of Contagion on them. And each of their leaders has the 2nd Plague Spear or Pistol. I have a Malignant Plague Caster. I have a Lord of Contagion, who is my Warlord. And I'm proxying a Storm Boy for my Chaos Lord.
All right. All right, Jason.
All right, here's what I got. Praise the Omnissiah. So I am running the Veteran Cohort, Skitarii Veteran Cohort list. So yeah, it's all Skitarii, everything, all day. So I have a group of 20 Vanguard right here, big block that just destroys everything. I have 2 smaller 5-man for doing stuff on the side. And then I got 2 10-man squads of Rangers with the sniper rifles. Those would be fun to take out nasty baddies. I have 3 HQ. I have the Mechanicus, and I have 2 of my Cowboy Marshals right here. By the way, it's a steampunk cowboy cyborg.
Note
list.
the cowboy hats.
Yeah. So, and then of course I got a group of horsey riders over here, the Cerberus Raiders. And then the fun ones is I have a group of 7 infiltrators, because I think those are important and they're a lot of fun for antagonizing your opponent. And then my beloved Rust Stalkers. Oh, I love these guys. And then of course going along with it, the heavy firepower, is I have 2, this time separate, what are they called? The Turkey Walkers, the Ballistari, yeah. And then I got 1 guy here, and this is probably the most controversial because not a lot of people taking a list. I'm taking it because it got an invulnerable save, and I really like that.
The Dune Strider?
Dune Strider, yeah, with the big old gun on it. So, and then of course, the Skitarii Air Force. I have 2 of the flyers with the Cognus las cannons. I like to fly around the board and cause trouble for my opponent. And I just got them decaled, so I'm pretty proud.
Looking pretty good. All right.
Sir.
Here we go. Terrain placement.
All right, so here's the way it worked. The mission that we picked up was Priority Target, 33 in the book. So the ITC, the way they do it is they have a system where you do player place terrain, which I think is pretty fantastic. The way it works is 2 of us roll off. Whoever gets highest places the first piece of terrain. Can't be within 6 inches of the board edge. Can't be on top of an objective. Can't be within 6 inches of another piece of terrain. So let's roll off. Of course, I get a 1.
Fast.
All right. So you pick the first terrain piece.
Okay.
We'll come back after terrain is placed.
All right. So priority target is the corner to corner. Okay. So it's be a little funky, but that's all right. We'll live with it. And we did player place terrain. So he won the roll off. Get to place the first piece. And then we took turns. Nothing is closer to 6 inches to each other. These are all considered a big terrain piece. There's as much strategy in this as there is anything else because I kind of forced him to put both of the barricades over on this side because there wasn't any room. So, and then of course you see what happened in the center, kind of something crazy. So a priority target, 5 objectives, 1 in the center, and then 4 others around. And yeah.
So now we roll for attacker defender.
Yep. And we both got 2s. 2, 1, yay! All right, so I get to pick a side.
All right, so we'll get back to you guys after deployment. How you feeling, Jason?
Fantastic.
All right, here we are with deployment. We got the Death Guard here, and the Skitarii force here. Jason, tell us a little bit about what you're planning on doing
All
here.
right, so here's what I gotta do. He needs his flamethrower guys, his
Death Shroud.
not death shroud,
Oh, the foul white spawns.
foul blight spawns, which he has 1 embedded within. So he's got 3 of them on board.
Yeah, they're
And,
embedded in my Poxwalker squads.
He's gonna need those to take down my planes, and trust me, if he gets a nice volley on him, he'll cripple the plane, if not destroy it. So my first target of opportunity has to be those. Unfortunately for me, I have a fair amount of guys who can snipe. My cowboys can do it, and then the big guns inside the arquebuses, or inside the Skitarii Rangers, they can do it. So hopefully I can take those down first turn. Got to keep my planes away until I do. And then I have back here my rust stalkers. I have a stratagem, can't remember the name of what it's called, but if they're within 9 inches of the board edge, I can pull them off and then redeploy them next turn off of the board edge.
And what are your 3 secondaries?
Assassinate, because he's got lots of characters. I have
Retrieve?
Retrieve Octarius data, because that's a given. And then I also have the one where you kill.
Take no prisoners.
Take no prisoners, because he's got lots of pockmarkers.
All right. John, what's the plan?
The plan is move forward and kill everything in the path.
I think that's a pretty good plan for Death Guard.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll have some 3 squads of Death Shroud teleporting in with a Lord Contagion to mop up any big squads he has. Maybe take out that walker he's got. And yeah.
All right. And so John's secondaries are Retrieve Octarius data.
Yeah, that's going to be the Poxwalker's jobs.
And to the last?
To the last, that'll be my 3 squads of Death Shroud. So the
And-
most expensive.
And explain Despoiled Ground for those of us who don't know.
And I'm going to need to get the book for that.
Okay, John, tell us about Despoiled Ground.
Okay, so at the end of the battle, after it's all said and done, I score 4 points if I'm within of any units within the opponent's deployment zone. I score 4 points if I have at least 1 unit in each of the 3 table quarters. I score 4 points if I control half of the objective markers on the board, and I get 4 if I have all of the objective markers within contagion range.
And he said that was within 12 inches of a character? Or?
Of my Death Shroud, because they have the
Death
times
Shroud.
contagion, which increases the contagion range.
And you said 3 of the 4 table quarters. Is it 4 of the 4 or 3 of the 4?
3 of the 4.
Okay. All right. We're ready for roll off and to see who goes first. You're going to use your
I got my magic train die.
railroad dice.
Yeah.
There we go.
3.
5. Guess
Oh,
who's going first?
all right. So looks like Alpha striking Skitarii back after turn 1.
Well, it was a good game.
One other thing I wanted to mention is command points. Jason starts with 7. The Skitarii start with 7. The Death Guard start with 8. Okay, end of turn 1 for the Skitarii. Jason, tell us what you did.
Well, I can't say it's a lackluster Alpha Strike, but it wasn't bad. I took out how many Terminators?
3, at least.
4.
4.
4 Terminators with last cannon, so it's not that big of a deal. He
Over
rolls
here.
like nuts on his involved save, so he did great on that.
From these guys.
I tried real hard to take out 2 different, what are they called?
Poxwalkers.
They're foul blight spawns.
Yeah.
And I got each one of them to 1 wound. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to suffer a volley from each of them. Did I get the other one?
You didn't touch this guy.
Didn't touch that. Oh, that's right.
You
because
missed.
I missed with the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So I killed a few poxwalkers here and there. Those weren't really my objectives.
So, and he retrieved Octarius data in that table quarter.
Yes.
These guys ended up shooting into this squad,
beautiful.
and he spent a command point for.
I got a spin command point for Wrath of Mars, which Wrath of Mars wound roll of 6 inflicts a mortal wound. And I also did enriched rounds, which on a 5 or higher auto wounds. Considering the strength on their weapons is strength 3, I really needed that. So,
And then the Steglin Raiders or whatever came
Yeah.
up and spent a command point too for something.
no.
Yeah,
no
they spent a
for
command
them.
point.
Nope.
Yeah, they
I
did.
spent a command point for. All right, you Circuitous Assassins.
Circuitous
I
assassination.
took my Rust Stalkers off the board.
Ah.
Back here.
Okay.
And then they're going to creep in on somewhere next turn where they can fit them in.
And tell us really quick about your Mechanicals of Mars.
So the Mechanicals are kind of this fun little thing. I really think they're moving this direction for most armies. My marshals give a canonical, and my that guy,
big
my
guy.
tech priest, gives benedictions, or he gives canonicals, he gives doctrine. So the doctrine I chose for the round is ballistic skill of models in this unit are increased by 1, so that's pretty much every Scutari unit on the board, everything with the Scutari keyword, their ballistic skill. So I was shooting mostly with 2s this round. And then also I took benedictions of the Omnissiah, which lets me reroll 1 hit roll, 1 wound roll, and 1 damage roll. And so, fortunately, I have the ability to give exceptions, and they gave exceptions to these guys. So they took move characteristics increased by 3. Their deprecation on that, which is the downside of it, is their save is reduced by 1. But you can do a control edict from the marshal as long as you have a data tether, and that lets you ignore the deprecation. So their saves are normal.
Right.
The special canonical that I gave them through the data tether is they all get the benefit of light cover. And that's just these guys.
And one last thing, Jason. Can your planes hover?
No. So it looks weird.
So what happened here, buddy?
They turned again.
Ah, okay. All right. So here we are.
Because they're maneuverable, they turn twice.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thought I was going to catch him. All right. Here we go. Coming up with Death Card, turn 1. Okay, John. Tell us what you did.
Well, I pushed forward, tried to charge his horses, but he spent CP to have him move.
What's the name of that?
Service Raiders.
No, what's the name of the stratagem where they're able to retreat? Full move. Okay. Well, he's looking that up. What else did you do, John?
But I did manage to blast him before they left. I moved forward, blasted his infiltrators, wrapped them around him with my boxwalkers. Moved these guys forward, tried to blast his big blob of Scutari over here with my Foul Blight Spawn, but didn't do anything at all. But yeah, it's mostly...
And these guys retrieved Octarius
Yeah, they
data.
retrieved Octarius data. Right now it's just holding out until my Death Trap can come in.
It's called Tactica Obliqua.
Tactica Obliqua is what that retreat is called.
Yeah.
So right now, the Scutari are leading in secondaries with 3 take no prisoners points, and the Death Guard has scored 0, but 2 of their secondaries are scored at the end of the game. So on to turn 2.
I had 3.
Okay, this is a pretty brutal round for the Death Guard. Like I was saying off camera, I've never really had a lot of pity for the Death Guard, but I kind of feel bad for the Death Guard here. Jason, tell him what you did to your son. This may count as child abuse, just FYI.
All right, so I used Bulwark Imperative, which gives my everything +1 save, and then I also did Incantation of the Iron Soul, which I don't have any modifiers for combat attrition, and I get a 5-up invul, or I get a 5-up save versus mortal wounds, which didn't help me at all. So this turn, Service Raiders ran from the fight with that special, what you call it? Yeah, grossness. And then I charged back in. Their shooting took out the Foul Blight Spawn, And then their combat took them down to 2 guys left in that squad. So these guys came on the edge of the board right here, failed to charge going into there. All of my las cannons, which by the way, my plane swap places again. All of my las cannons went into his terminators, and so I'm slowly whittling them down. Sniper rifles are picking on his like this guy right here. Cerberus Raiders have sniper rifles. And then I got one over there. I took out 2 of his foul blight spawns with it. These guys right here, which is my big...
Explain
brick.
this. This is what's really hard on people.
That's my big brick of Vanguard. Skitari Vanguard.
It's a group of 20.
It's a group of 20 and
And
2
they're-
arc rifles.
They're armed with 2 arc rifles, and what's the main gun?
Main gun is a galvanic rifle.
Galvanic rifle.
And
then
this guy right there buffs their galvanic rifles really gnarly.
yeah. How does he buff them?
Well, so he increases their range, he increases the AP on it by 1. He, let me see what he does. He gives the whole group, ignores 1s and 2 AP attacking against them. So them sitting in cover.
No, let's talk about shooting.
Oh,
Tell
shoot.
them about the shooting.
Oh, shooting. Well, it's heavy. No, not heavy. It's assault 3 is all their rifles. So I got 17 times 3, 51 shots.
51 shots out of a 20-man squad.
I blew Wrath of Mars, which 6s did a mortal wound.
He blows other than that, just FYI.
Right. So I wiped out a squad of Poxwalkers over there. And then with the Poxwalkers gone, I was able to have my Rangers finish off the other Foul Blight spawn.
Yeah. So 51 shots, AP
-2.
AP -2,
1 damage piece.
1 damage.
Yeah.
6s do, no, 5s and 6s do mortals.
No, just 6s with Wrath of Mars, and I can only do 6.
6, yeah, only 6 mortals. Poor guy. Okay. Right now, the score is a runaway game. He scored his first Retrieve Octarius data, which he got 4. It's this quadrant and this quadrant, I'm guessing.
Right over here. Which, by the way, if you played... If you,
Retrieve Octarius data. So the Steglin Raiders are core. I thought it was only infantry.
They're
that could
core.
Retrieve Octarius data.
oh, shoot, you're right.
Uh-oh. Okay, we'll have to come back for
Yep.
that. But he did get a lot of take no prisoners. He's up to 7 take no prisoners and 6 assassination points to kill 2 characters. Okay, we'll come back and we'll talk about Retrieve Octarius data in just a sec. All right, end of Death Guard turn 2. The score now stands at 33 to 23 or 33 to 20?
23 to 20.
33 to 20. At the beginning of the turn, the Death Guard controlled the center and that guy over there. They ended up annihilating the Rust Stalkers or whatever those guys were in the
Cerberus
middle.
Raiders.
Cerberus Raiders.
Oh, and the Infiltrators. in the
Oh,
middle.
Cerberus Infiltrators here, the Cerberus Raiders over there. Those Poxwalkers came back and walked on the board edge there. We did have some pro debate. Excuse me, John. We did have some pro debate on deep striking. So I still have a couple questions out to Reddit and a couple questions out to Daka and some friends. He wanted to deep strike here, and we allowed it or no?
No.
Did not allow it because of the rules as written say that you cannot, or you deep strike by measuring 9 inches away from the model. This model's wings would put the deep strikers way back here. But if you measured from the base, it would put them substantially closer. Jason has had a game where the Dark
Mason,
Eldar...
looking at you.
Yeah, Mason moved his Dark Eldar Raider so it was pointy. The little prow, I think, was keeping him away from a deep strike. And that's how we ruled it on this game.
We just want to go into LVO, making sure we got all our bases covered.
Right. And they're so well practiced. Both of them messed up Retrieve Octarius data. Good job, team.
Yep.
Really, your strong showing.
Yep.
I
So-
failed 4 charges in a row,
Yeah.
and then my poxwalkers made it.
Obviously, he's dominating the center of the board, and they're still trying to kind of keep away from that big blob of nastiness. But right now, he got his 10 pity points from Dad because he's using an orc model. Still gets 10 points. Yep, you should look bad about that. So
Finish your
33,
bases.
23-23 going into turn 3.
Okay, we figured this out. This mainly has to do with our inexperience. In the basic rules, there's a section on measuring distances, and you always measure from the base unless the model does not have a base. In this case, Jason's flyer does have a base, and so we should have measured deep strike from the base. The question arose regarding things like Ghost Arcs or Dark Eldar Raiders, things like that have those smaller flying bases that are just circular or like a wave serpent. Well, in that case, I believe all cases of Games Workshop models, they have a special rule called hover, where it indicates that all distances should be measured from the hull. I don't know if hull is actually classified, if it can include antenna and little spines and things like that, but probably so. But you guys can figure that out amongst yourselves. But I just wanted to clarify that. Now, back to the game.
Okay, Jason, tell us what you did.
All right, so it was actually kind of a lackluster shooting phase because I'm running out of doctrines. So I had to use the one that's +1 weapon skill because I have a feeling I'm going to get charged. I also put down the canonical that makes it so he is -1 to hit me in close combat. Conversely, it made my shooting, I needed 4 ups to hit. So I'm kind of Imperial Guardsman here. So a lot of las cannons. I took away 2 of these guys. I killed 1 of his Terminators. I
Wiped a
wiped
squad.
out a squad here with shooting from the guys inside the building.
The bad guys that I don't like.
Right, yeah. So my big
true
big brick. And
Vanguard?
they mostly the Vanguard. They were mostly able to do that because they
The true villains of 40k right there.
had an exception to the things. They had +1 ballistic skill. So, but yeah. So I mean, I did some stuff. I put down our Octarius data.
Finally.
Yeah. So one thing I'd like to point out really quick, for those of you playing AdMech, you notice I have these tokens down here that I made. A lot of people say AdMech are almost too complicated. Man, these tokens really help out in the command phase. You just put down the buffs, and so that way you don't forget about it.
Yep, just stickers on poker chips.
Yep.
Good job, Jason.
So I was smart.
Smart. Yeah, so it's pretty ruthless right now. Admech's not giving Death Guard much of a chance. Total is 50-20. Admech has nearly maxed out Take No Prisoners with a total of 100 wounds inflicted. All right, moving on to Death Guard. Turn 3. This is when they're going to turn it all around.
This is it.
Tell us what you did, John.
I died a lot.
No, you did not. You
Retrieved Arterius Dad over here.
Yeah.
massacred.
I wiped out his big old blob of.
Oh, that's awful Vanguard squad.
Yeah.
I freaking hate that. I share your loathing for that squad.
I charged over there and took out his sniper. I took out his plane with my foul blight spawn.
That was a good one.
That was pretty glorious.
Flamer, yeah.
Yeah.
Flamer.
Don't get near them. I told you I needed to assassinate.
Yeah, those foul blight spawn are pretty, they're no joke.
They're fabulous.
And so what did I say the score was?
50 to 30 or something.
50
I
to
did wipe
30.
out the rest of his bugs back there.
Yeah, he did.
His zombies.
Oh, yeah.
He has my backfield.
But that's just to retrieve Arterius data. There's the actual.
Yeah, I'm within 3 inches of it. So.
Maybe. So we're moving
Yeah.
into turn 4 right now, 50 to 34. Dad's favor. Okay, Jason, tell us what you did.
Okay, so over here he had his big baddie. Was the only one who got in combat with me, which was his warlord. I moved out of combat. I gave my tech priest the ability to shoot after he left combat, and he shot him with his Magna Rail lance and killed him. And then I shot down 2 of his death shroud over here, and so kind of whittled that down to about half. Some stubbers went into his poxwalkers, whittled them down a little bit more, and I managed to wipe out the 2 that were here. These guys left combat. Last but not least, my rust stalkers over there hung out back there, held an objective, and did
Retrieve.
retrieve Octarius. So that was my turn. It was a productive turn. I feel like I took some teeth out of him, but he's taken, well, I can't say he's taken my teeth, but it certainly made me sweat. I feel like I kind of got a reprieve from that.
So, yeah, right now it's going into John's turn 4. Score 74-34, John.
Woo!
Oh.
Let's do this.
Okay, buddy. Let's hear it.
Alright, I took out his tech priest and his marshal over here, and his squad of rangers.
Oh, that's good.
And then I had my Terminator shoot over here, took out most of the squad over here. So now his marshal over there is not protected. And that's it.
And you scored how many secondaries?
None!
But you got 10 primary. So right now the score is unruly 74-44 going into the final turn.
Turn 5.
All right, here we go.
I got a lot of
You cleared up.
in-game stuff.
You cleared the board, and you do have a lot of in-game stuff that will score up. All right, here we go into last turn. Skatari. All right, Jason.
All right, start of my turn.
Tell us how you beat your child.
Didn't have a lot left, so I took a chance with my plane. I had 1 leader left, so he gave him 2 up to hit and rerolls, wounds, damage, all that kind of stuff. I managed to, with my shooting, take out the rest of his poxwalkers, and I killed his last foul blight spawn, the flamer guy, with yeah. And then the gross one is I took 2 las cannons and shot his psyker.
Yeah.
And 2 hits, 2 wounds. He gets 2 invulnerable saves, makes them both.
No, it wasn't. It was an armor save, and I got 2 6s.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so right now the score is 88-54.
Woo!
And yeah,
I can
kind of
close the gap.
uphill battle here. All right, here we go.
I can close the gap.
He ends. He scores the end of his turn, so he's got 2 secondaries that score at the end of the game. So we're gonna go for it. Okay. Sure did seem like a runaway game, Jason.
Sure did seem that way.
Yeah, John, wouldn't you say it seemed
Yeah.
like a runaway game?
Yeah.
But not really in your favor, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. So at the end, John, the Death Guard player, was able, he didn't do any shooting, all he did was movement. He ended up advancing this, what is that guy, caster, plague caster?
Malignant Playcaster.
He advanced him from over here to get into this table quarter, and also control that center objective, because he scores at the end. These guys stayed here, so they're in that table quarter. Those guys stayed in that table quarter, so that's 3 table quarters.
They retrieved terrorist data.
These guys and those guys retrieved. These guys advanced, and so
Oh, I could have had them retrieve terrorist data too.
no, you can only do one quarter per, and it has to be 6 inches in.
Right.
So for his despoiled ground, he was in 4 table quarters,
It's got me 6 points.
so that's 6 points. He was wholly within the deployment zone, so that's another 4 points.
Just barely within.
Just barely within. And then you got another 4 points for, what was the other one?
Controlling more.
Controlling
more
more
than half
objectives.
of the objectives.
Boom, boom, boom. So he controls 3, Jason controls 2. And so that got him 14 points. And then to the last, this was a little wonky because somebody,
I forgot to declare which ones were which.
right, so he had his, explain what was going on there.
So I have my 3 Death Shroud squads are all the same number of points. So it was my Blight Lord Terminators and 2 of my Death Shroud squads. I forgot to declare out loud which ones were the death shroud.
He forgot to declare. Let's be honest. He forgot to declare completely. Like he just
I knew which ones they were.
didn't occur to him. So
So they had me roll off to see if
Yeah,
these
so-
ones,
so-
the surviving members were part of
So
it.
yeah, we let him roll, and on a 1, it had a 1 in 3 chance of being
Yeah.
the one that's still on the board. So we said on a 5 or 6, and what'd you roll?
I got a 6.
Yeah. So
As usual.
as usual, so a clutch play. He scored 10 points to the last, and then he got his 15 primary points. So boys,
What's the score?
Alright.
well we'll do.
I know he won.
we'll go to the-
Because of
we'll go to the
grin on your
couch.
face.
All right, boys. So they still don't know the grand total of the game, so they don't know who won yet. Let's start with you, Jason. What do you think you did right and wrong?
I wanted to snipe out his, I can't remember what they're called, the
Foul
flamer
blight
guys,
spawns.
foul blight spawns.
Oh, those things
And
are
I
awful.
ignored one of them, or he covered up one really good, and I kind of let it go, and he took out a plane.
Yeah.
And I was like, so that was a big mistake I made. Other than that, I think I did okay.
Yeah, I do too. I think
You know.
the only mistake that I saw that they both did was forgot to retrieve Octarius data on turn 1
Yeah.
or turn 2. John, you did a lot. You had a lot of mistakes. Let's be honest. You had a lot of
I
mistakes.
messed up a lot.
So the retrieve Octarius data for one, for sure,
Yeah.
and then not.
I failed a lot of
Not-
charges there too.
Yeah, but not like you also didn't. We let you have that extra 5 points
Yeah.
by rolling. Also, let you have a battle ready force, even though
Yeah.
you proxied with an orc.
Right.
I can't find my case.
So, boys, you want to know the final score?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
Nope. Don't tell.
What do you think the final score was, Jason?
He got 90 something. I got like 87 or something crazy.
88-87, Jason's favor.
What?
Oh my god.
Skatari win. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in to another Sacred Mountain Battle Reports. That was a pretty surprising end. Man, the Death Guard really pulled it out there. I had lost interest in the game early, and I was
You literally fell asleep.
I almost fell asleep. And hey, we're gonna see you guys at the LVO, and hope you get to play these two guys. They're really fun to play against.
And hopefully he has his chaos sword by then.
Yeah, hopefully he won't be using a fucking orc.
I'm gonna get a garage and bring him.
All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Cheers, everyone.